that say handled A1. By A1, I refer to your client. Was the instructions of IHK in writing or verbal?
The director instructed me verbally to come because I'm the one who is in the station at the moment.
Put on record the name of the director.
Dr. Kavuma.
The other name?
I know it's a D.
Again, for clarity, before we divulge into the details, are you appearing in this matter as a personal doctor of the accused person or strictly in your official capacity as a representative of IHK?
I'm appearing in this matter as a doctor who treated the patient.
Doctor, as a medical professional, you are bound by the doctor-client confidentiality. Are you not?
Yes. We are bound by the confidentiality.
And it is in your knowledge that by that professional principle, you can only divulge the medical records or details of a patient either by their express authorization or by clearance of a known next of kin. That is something in your knowledge?
Yes, it's in my knowledge.
By your appearance in this matter, it is in your knowledge that your testimony would involve divulging into the personal medical records of the accused persons, correct?
Correct.
So prior to taking the stand, did you ensure any formal written consent by the accused person in that regard?
No.
Pastor, Doctor, when did you last review the accused person's medical record?
The medical records, I last interacted with the patient's records when she was in hospital before being taken out of hospital because I was following her up. and I have the records.
When she was last in hospital?
Yeah.
This was in January 2024, correct?
Yes.
Is it your position? Do we get you correct by the position that even when you are medical director purportedly assigned you to appear as witness,
Yes.
you never found it fit to refresh yourself or review the medical file in respect of a person you were appearing to testify?
That's a different question, because you told me when did I last review the records. It was when the patient was still in hospital, but when I was summoned to come to court, I looked at the notes again so that I could answer the questions, because this is a long-term period. Refresh myself with the accuracy of the information.
So when did you last review or peruse the patient's record?
Before coming to court.
You want to be precise?
When I got to know, that's a few days before coming to court.
Doctor, are you in position to put a date?
No, it is shortly before coming to court, a few days before coming to court.
When did you last directly talk with A1?
I talked with A1 when she was in hospital.
That is January 2024.
2024.
For the protection of your privacy, there's a number I've written here. You look at it, we shall pass it over to court. I want you to confirm to court if it is your personal telephone number.
It is my personal telephone number.
You have held that telephone number way before A1. Okay, way before the 2nd of November 2023.
Yes.
And the number is in your names.
Yes.
Which names?
Sechimpi Patrick.
You held that phone and it was with you or on you on the 2nd November 2023, correct?
Yes.
Doctor, as a medical doctor, in your practice, you are required to detail your professional handling of a patient in her file, in her medical file, correct?
It depends on the purpose of the information I'm writing. If it's for my own record, it may not be as detailed.
Doctor, I'm speaking to information relating to the treatment and management of a patient under your care.
Yes. I write, sometimes even I dictate, but what I put down is for my own review of the patient or for my colleague who is in the same profession who may come to handle the patient. Right?
What you put in the file depends
on the purpose of the information I'm putting there. Yes. Which could be, I want to be able to remind myself the operation I did in theater, or my colleague to know exactly what is the operation I did in theater. Or during reviews of the patient.
So I'm correct to say it is a standard procedure that everything you do in respect of the management and treatment of a patient is written down in the patient's record. Correct?
I'm understanding this question as the question that was asked before. I write
Please
down.
provide an answer.
I write down the notes that
Doctor, I have asked a specific question. Just don't mind. I may even repeat it, and it is on purpose.
All right, all right.
Just provide this court with an answer.
I write down notes to remind myself what exactly I did, or my professional colleague to understand what I did in theater or during the review of the patient.
You write down details of everything you did.
You cannot write all the details, Your Honor. It will be a very big paragraph. You cannot write down all the details. There are routine things that we do that we don't have to indicate in the theater notes. But if I write the procedure, I know exactly what I did.
There are things that must be written. For example,
the name of the patient,
yes,
the name.
Just a minute.
Okay, sorry.
But you are correct. So in all cases, you must take the particulars of the patient, right?
The names of the patient must be.
Doctor, my question is particulars.
Particulars, yes. The issue is that when we surgery.
Wait for the next question, sir.
Okay, can I answer the question that you asked? Yes, the particulars of the patient.
What constitutes the particulars?
The name, the age of the patient, the team or the surgeons that have worked on the patient.
Those are still particulars of the patient.
Right? The particulars of the patient, I've finished the particulars of the patient.
Then end there.
And then we go
Wait
to
for the next question.
All right, fine.
I just advise you, we don't want to spend much time with you. So just restrict yourself to the 8 things that we require. you should also, as a matter of must, indicate the complaint that you are managing.
Answer.
Must you indicate?
The complaint is
Doctor, must you indicate it?
no, not in theater notes. Not in theater notes.
I will ask about theater notes.
Okay, yeah. If in the personal file there can be complaints, but it's not me to write the complaints. If you want me to explain the procedure, I can explain.
I'm not about to ask you to volunteer any information beyond what I require, sir.
So, we know that in the personal file, the complaint,
Yes,
although it is not written necessarily.
by me. Yeah.
Doctor, my lord,
the complaint, maybe, is it same as the reason why the person?
Yes, the reason why the person is in hospital. Representing complaint.
does the personal file also contain the condition of the patient on arrival? Does it?
When the patients arrive,
Does it or it does not?
it should indicate
It should.
the condition of the patient.
It should also include the details of medical procedures undertaken. Correct?
Correct.
It is correct, therefore, to say that the personal patient's file is the principal source of information about what the patient is being managed in a medical facility.
It is partly the source of information.
Other than the personal file, doctor, where else do you record the patient condition and issues related to the management of the patient's conditions?
In the report or reports made by the professionals who manage the patient.
Doctor, reports, information in reports is derived from the personal record of the patient, correct?
The information is derived from the records and what I saw as a professional.
Do we understand you to tell this court, to be telling this court that there are things that you see that you don't write in the patient's file?
The fact that we are two doctors managing the patient.
Doctor, I'm referring to you, things that
Yes,
you personally
it's
do.
true. It's true. If something has already been recorded by a colleague,
No.
I don't have to repeat writing it.
I'm asking about, then
Yeah.
if your colleague is the one recording, it is already in the file. You know?
Yeah.
I want to be sure that you understand it as.
Because my duty is to write the orthopedic injuries as I saw them.
Now, doctor,
and I manage them.
what you did personally. Now, this,
Even this is on record that I write what is in my area. If we are managing it as a team, managing the patient as a team.
There are things that you saw that you didn't report.
Yes, there are things that we don't record.
So there are situations where you manage patients for specific conditions and you don't record them down in their file. That's what you
Yes,
imply.
I may not record all the details. All the details. I may not record them.
Doctor, I'm not now asking about details. I'm asking about the subject. I come to your hospital, you manage me for malaria, and you choose not to indicate that I came suffering from malaria. You understand that example? You may not tell the particulars of the gravity and what have you of the malaria, but the fact that I am suffering from malaria, is that something that you can omit to put in my personal file as a medical professional?
If you are suffering from malaria, for sure I will write that you're suffering from malaria. But I may not put that you're suffering from fever and headache and everything. Because I've already judged from the symptoms I've seen, and it's malaria, then I write it's malaria.
You talked about things recorded by surgeons and things recorded by other medical professionals.
Yes, sir.
As a surgeon, you record operating notes or operation notes in theater.
You record or you dictate. But that's what you record.
How about on ward?
On the word, you can either record or dictate what the junior writes.
In the theater, it's operation
Yes.
notes.
Yes.
About
On the word, it is review, follow up, and sometimes if there's not been clerking before.
What do you write? Are they still operation notes or clinical notes?
Those are notes about the patient's progress.
Are they otherwise called clinical notes?
You can call them clinical notes.
Now, about the reviews on word. As a medical profession, when you review a patient, you document what you have reviewed when you review, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it professionally correct for one to review and not document in the patient's file what they have reviewed?
There are two ways of recording.
Is it correct or not?
Yes, I'm answering your question, by the way. Can I answer it, Honor? Yeah. There are two ways I record information. When I go to review a patient, I go with the word doctor. And I either give the word doctor the instructions on what to do, okay, and the progress of the patient, or I write down myself. That's the way I do my work.
Doctor, either way you have written, whether you have written personally or instructed a junior to record on your behalf, you have written.
No.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
So review notes must appear.
Appear.
Whether it is by you
By me or
instructor.
my doctor, my whatever, junior.
Yeah.
On the word.
That's exactly what we are saying. Do you hold any administrative position at IHK?
No, sir.
What are you exactly at IHK?
I'm a consultant orthopedic surgeon.
Glad she could interpret before we go further.
Atangira tugambire atatunge ekiwandiiko kyona ekikumuheebwa ekitali kyona ekyamateeka ekikumweta okwijja okuha obwakaiso baitu akagamirwa okulugala omukulu w'eirwaro namugambira bugambira nk'okubaza baitu nawe atamu ekiwandiiko kyona. Kandi kino kikakolwa kitya habwokuba niwe wenka madaktari boona ababaire bajanjaba mukyala Mole niwe wenka yabaire aloho. Amabara ga omukulembeze w'eirwaro lina yamutumire kujjako obwakaiso niwe daktari Kavuma. Kandi hano ali aizire ali daktari omulwaire yabaire nawe abwire obwo. Ebiragiro ebyalina kuba nahonderawo nka daktari ebikugira okugambaho okuturukya lundi okuturukya amahoro agakwatagana hali omulwaire kandi kinakugumya nti nigo amazima kandi uwe kuturukya lundi kuhereza amahoro agakwata hali omulwaire alina kuba ahairwe ekiragiro okuroga hali omulwaire wenyini olundi ogwo akumulolera baitu kandi ekyamazima kandi kikweyoleka nti kandi kijja kumwetagisa okugenda mu bihandiiko ebikwatagana hali omulwaire we obyajanjabire. Baitu amazima gali nti talina kihandiiko kyona ekimuhairwe okuruga hali omukyala Mole. Akasembayo okurora ebihandiiko bye by'eirwaro obu yabaire omukyala Mole obu yabaire omwirwaro omwo omwaka gwa 20 enyumaho omwaka gwa mwezi ogwokubanza omwaka gwa 2023 nikasembereyo okurora ebihandiiko ebyo baitu kandi oba mwesere kujja kuha obwakaiso nabwo akagarukamu yabiroraho katiito asobole kuba naijuka ebintu ebyaratugambira. Kandi hariho enamba z'esimu nazo atugambire nizeezo kandi enabaire nayo emyaka nyingi muno enyuma bunze atakaitiraine omukyala Mole kandi enamba eri mu mabara ge aga Tekimpi Patrick. Kandi ebiro bino byona niwakabata kuba mulozere omukyala ono buyamugwaire esimu egyo akaba agiine. Kandi munkola y'abadaktari kiri kyamazima nti alina kuba nahandiika byona ebikwata hali omulwaire baitu kino kisigikira kigendererwaki ekyakubihandiike olundi okwijukiraho olundi okumanyisa omutaahiwe ondi olundi okugarukamu obwaraba narora omulwaire baitu tikyanguhire kuba nohandiika buli kintu kyona baitu nkabugire buhandiika amabara n'emyaka by'omulwaire kandi nekimuleetera omulwaro nakyo bakira kukihandiika. Kisobola kuba kitahandiikirwe dakisaali baitu kyo omulingo gwona inakuba nikihandiikirwe. Kandi ebihandiiko bino binakwoleka omulingo gw'omulwaire ayiziremu gwabaire alimu alahikiire biteiremu ebintu ebimukozerwaho runo obujanjabi obumuhairwe obwahire omwirwaro. Ekihandiiko kino kiri kimuhara ebyo ebintu ebibaihamu amahuure nga baba nibeetaaga orundi bakozesa nabyo ekihandiiko ekindi ekiba kikozerwe oba baba nibajanjaba omulwaire. Kandi baitu amazima gali nti ekikulu kya byona obulwaire bwaize omulwaire baba babuhandiikire. Ebintu bino bisobola kuba nibihandiikirwe dakisaali bindi bisobola kuba bihandiikirwe omuntu ondi weena baitu omulingo gwona byo biba bihandiikirwe. Uwe taina kintu kikali kyona kyoba okulembeze aha irwaro lino baitu ali dakisaali w'amagufa ayekaguzibwaho.
Doctor, did you know A1 before the 2nd of November 2023?
No.
At IHK, when a patient is delivered at the emergency section, he is first attended by the emergency staff at that section.
Yes.
It is at the emergency section that the patient is assessed for their condition.
Yes, largely at the emergency section.
And your colleagues at the emergency section fill out an assessment form of the patient.
Yes, they fill the chart. Start filling the chart.
Doctor, I know the form and the chart. Can you answer us to the form?
It's a chart. At IHK, I know the chart is the main item. Because everything is in the patient's file. We call it the patient's file. It's opened up, and then you put in the different forms or papers that will be required in the management of the patient. The chart has all the necessary paper for patient to be admitted.
Doctor, I will ask about the chart. Do you know about the IHK accident emergency assessment form? You are supposed to have reviewed the medical record of this accused person.
Yes, in the emergency situation, I reviewed and knew what had happened to the patient.
I'm asking about the assessment form, doctor. Are you familiar with the IHK accident emergency assessment form?
I'm aware about the medical records in the emergency department.
My lord, will the witness answer us to the assessment form?
I'm aware.
What are you aware about?
About the assessment form,
okay,
and what is written on by the
okay,
medical office or whatever.
Subsequent surgeons or doctors review as the assessment form as the first point of internal information regarding a patient.
Assessment form. IHK accident emergency assessment form is something so it says it is at the emergency section that the patient is assessed gradually for their condition. After assessment, a chart is filled. Then I review the assessment form, like the IHK accident emergency assessment form is something. He talked about the chart, and he said that he's also aware of the emergency assessment form, and he's also aware of what. After assessment, a chart is filled. That is the main thing filled at that. Then I asked him, is a chart the same thing as a file? Then he says the chart has all the things what concerning the handling.
We were availed these documents by the defense. I'm going to put to you the emergency assessment form.
Nabire akaba atamumanyire ono omunyigero okubanza akaba talina nkwatagana tenekya kumumanyaho ebiro ebyenyuma yebyo by'okwezi bibiri okwezi kw'ekumi na kumu omwaka gwa 2023 kandi hairwaro lino omulwaire ali ku bimuno oba mule.
That is the emergency.
It is the name and everything that should have been for that patient. Probably. I mean, it is identifying the patient.
Doctor, is that the emergency form in respect of the accused person A1?
Not going to in the witness who were allowed to that's what has been established. Witness my lord,
here in his official capacity by his own evidence. He is also here as a representative of the hospital.
I'm not representing.
Please.
Okay. Finish then I come.
He is also here, my lord, upon having reviewed the patient's file a few days to his appearance. My lord, that background was deliberate, and we were seeking to establish under what circumstances he came, but on instructions of his hospital.
IHK accident assessment form is something I'm aware of.
It is never late. Okay.
Can I answer?
So that we save on the time, because we have just. Are you familiar with the documents that you reviewed about the accused persons on being assigned to come here and testify?
I reviewed the documents of the procedure and
the question is,
yes.
Are you familiar? Please be kind
with the documents
to us and answer
yes.
the question.
That's what I'm answering.
No, please.
You don't
do
have
not set yourself questions. Are you familiar is the question. With the medical documents relating client's file that you reviewed?
The documents I reviewed, I'm familiar with them.
Doctor, that patient assessment form is part of the accused's file, correct? Forget the document.
Yeah.
Who managed A1
Familiar with the documents
Yes.
who are in the file.
And which were where I got directly involved in the patient's management.
In the management of the patient,
Yes.
do you look at everything that has been given to you?
In the real time, you look at it, and that's at the emergency section, right? And a lot of things are happening. But then you get time to interact with the patient and you beef up your understanding. After you've operated the patient and you are reviewing them, you understand the story even better. But you start with the file and
That's what you're calling the chart.
That's the chart I'm talking about, yes,
So
which has everything.
The chart has
everything, yes.
So
in the real time, you go and see, and you ask what has happened and that kind of thing quickly, and then you what? You know what has happened, look at X-rays, and you know that this is now an injury that I have to manage, and you become part of the team to manage the patient.
Are the X-rays and all that part of the preliminary assessment?
Yes, we do X-rays. It's very important to do X-rays.
Because
because that's what makes me.
Are you the one who does the X-ray, or you find the X-ray already done?
These ones I found when they already been done, because the emergency doctor had assessed the patient. Then I review, and because that's why they invited me to come and manage.
So, but I think what court will be interested in knowing, you as a surgeon, when you are presented with a patient, you are also presented with a file, and you review the information already taken down to understand the complaint that you are to manage. Then that's standard procedure, doctor.
The first thing,
is it or no? It is not.
No, can I answer, sir? The first thing I do is to find out what has happened.
What is the purpose of the file?
And then,
as far as you're concerned, how does the file, how does the chart help you in managing the patient?
In managing a patient. Now, if there is no capacity of the patient to probably speak at the time I see them, then the chart is very important. But if I've been in the emergency situation and I know or I've gotten from the doctor exactly what happened, I may not look at all the nitty-gritty details of what he has written down, because he has told me exactly what has happened, and he has written the notes as he has had the story and that kind of thing.
What is the purpose of the initial emergency assessment?
In an emergency situation, is the patient alive? You want to establish, is the patient alive? Where are they being referred from? And the other details around the injury that you're given to, that are given to the health workers by the what? By the attendants, or the patient, if she can still speak at that point.
So you, in other words, in your patient management at the initial stage, the information contained in the assessment form is relevant to you.
It's very relevant.
Informs your next action.
It is relevant, but I usually ask my own questions as a specialist.
Doctor, you are setting yourself several other questions.
It is okay, sir. I'm here to answer questions, and I have to tell you what I do. If I don't tell you the truth, then it's not.
I'm not requiring what you do. I am asking specifically. And please, kindly, doctor, we are asking simple questions. Give us direct answers. Okay?
So you are saying that the emergency assessment form, you may look at it or not?
You may look at it, but not in great detail if you know that you've gotten the information you want. Because remember, this patient is being managed by a team. The neurosurgeon was already in the emergency situation, managing his wounds, okay? And I'm called in to assess the orthopedic injuries that the patient has acquired, and I assess and I realize that I need to be in theater together with the neurosurgeon or after the neurosurgeon to manage what? The injuries.
In this case, were there two different emergency assessment forms? One,
no, it is the same. It is the same. It is the same.
So you as an orthopedic surgeon, are you informed? Do you find the information in the emergency assessment form relevant to your next action?
Yes, I find the relevant information in the form that I will use in management of the patient. And then I add on my own assessment.
Doctor, let's deal briefly with this emergency form that relates to your circumstances. Which doctor managed the patient at emergency?
Your
you
Honor,
go to page 3.
Your Honor, due to the length of time, I may not be
That's
in
why I'm
position to
referring
say.
to page number 3 of the document.
Okay, and number 3, all right.
Which doctor managed A1 on arrival?
Your Honor, the turnover of doctors, junior doctors in the emergency section.
Doctor, does page 3 provide you with the information?
Here I'm reading Kapuma Peter. That's what I'm reading from the form here.
You?
Peter. Yeah, Peter.
Kapuma Peter.
Yeah.
Doctor, this is the Kavuma that you say has sent you to appear on behalf of the hospital, correct?
I cannot prove that. I cannot prove that.
You don't know which Kavuma has sent you to come to court?
I know the director of medical services and I can identify him and I know that he's Kavuma. But he's not the only Kavuma. The names are given to many people, so I don't know whether it's the one or it's not the one.
They're talking.
My lord, if you could have the zero muted.
Doctor, what do you read on the form as the emergency doctor?
I'm not the emergency doctor, Your Honor.
The question
I'm the
is,
consultant orthopedic surgeon.
the question is, my lord, may the doctor be...
Can you kindly mute? Please. She can hear.
Okay. My lord, the question is, which doctor managed A1 at emergencies?
Your Honor, my lord, the hospital administration or administrator, Dr. Kavuma, is in position to answer that question accurately, if he can be produced to court. Because this is 2 years, and my focus was on managing the patient, not in administration. Yeah. And I've said, Kavuma Peter, I don't know whether it's the... Yes, I cannot ascertain that. It's not in my capacity after 2 years, really.
It's okay, doctor. Surely we don't expect you to know things after 2 years. I believe that is why you had to be accessed the file before coming. What time did he manage the patient?
Your Honor, I managed the patient.
What time did he? We are dealing with your official records.
My lord, can he answer questions about that? Will not be
We have been down that road, my lord. We have laid the background. If the good doctor had said he's here in his private capacity, he has nothing to do with the official records of the hospital, my lord, we would not be asking, we would not be bothering him.
my lord, he did say that he is not here. I think he said he was sent by the hospital, but he's not here as a representative.
So he was sent by the hospital
My
to
lord, my
represent.
objection is whether the witness stopped from asking the witness questions about what another professional had written.
How do you distinguish that from this current position? The doctor who we asked about what the neurosurgeon had done, how is that different from which was filled by another?
I beg your pardon, my lord.
The witness would not answer questions regarding what the neurosurgeon.
Yes. Yes.
So how is that different from the witness answering questions about the accident which was filled by another?
My lord, as to the details of what the neurosurgeon did, those were things within the knowledge of the neurosurgeon. As to what the official records of the hospital indicate in relation to who handled, not how they handled. The first question relates to the how.
We're not asking details.
Yes, we are not asking details. We are asking what does the official record reflect as to who handled and at what time.
All the 24 was laid on what the postmortem doctor.
Yes.
Not detail or not even
Exactly.
opinion, but
Exactly, my lord. Exactly, my lord.
Although, my lord, in this particular case, the neurosurgeon were commenting also about the official hospital record as recorded by the neurosurgeon. So, my lord, the situation is the same. There are 3 doctors we are talking about: the emergency doctor, the neurosurgeon, and the orthopedic surgeon. My learned friend objected that the part, because he had started explaining that on page 8, the This is what the neurosurgeon wrote. And the objection was, we should not comment on the record as put down by the neurosurgeon. So our objection, my lord, is that it is the same scenario with the objection as put down by the emergency doctor.
My lord, if I may, the actual difference is whether it was a neurosurgeon or him, even his procedure alone, he needs information from them to guide what interventions he's going to say and he's going to do. And that is what he has just told us, that the information that he receives from emergency is critical. So meaning that even in his own capacity, he has to review what comes from emergency before he takes on as an orthopedic. So we are not putting him to answer questions of the neurosurgeon, but in line of what he did, he starts from there as well. And I don't think
that I find the relevant information in the emergency emergency assessment form,
yes,
which I use in the management.
and that is where we are going.
He said, then I add on my own assessment.
He said, I find the relevant information in the emergency assessment form, which I will use in the management. I will then add on my own relevant information.
Assessment. I do my own assessment.
I will then add on my own relevant
Assessment.
information.
Assessment
Because he assesses.
And that is why we are taking
Situation.
him to the emergency.
So he interacted with the emergency.
Yes, madam.
Because here he said, I find the relevant information in that form, which I will use. And will then add on my own.
So, doctor, what time was the accused managed at emergency according to the form, the hospital form?
Your Honor, I beg to answer the questions pertaining to what I did, because that's what I was told from the beginning. Because the hospital has an administrator who was actually the administrator then, and he has the emergency doctor. He may give a little bit more administrative answers, but
My lord, let it be put on record that he has declined.
Yeah.
You're the best person.
Yeah.
Doctor, in your management of patients, do you concern yourself with the details of the initial assessment by your first action officer?
Yes, they are the first to tell me what they found about the patient. They tell me and they write down what they have found. But they tell me and I review what they are telling me. I review the patient, I review the x-rays.
So, yes or no? And they communicate to you through this assessment form. This is the official record that communicates to you as the next action officer, correct?
Your Honor, the communication is verbal. It's verbal.
Which doctor gave you the verbal communication?
The emergency doctor.
Doctor, here, you wait. I ask, because we don't want to waste court's time. Just be patient with us, okay? So I was asking you, in this particular case, which emergency doctor gave you any verbal information regarding A1?
The one who was on call
Who?
that day.
By who? I require a name for court.
I think the administrator of the hospital will provide that name because
Doctor, do you know or you don't know?
you know one thing about doctors, just junior doctors like students,
Doctor,
is
do
asking
you
me
know or you don't know?
which student
Sorry, we are
did
not-
this,
we are not
which doctor
going to
did
be
this.
a lecture, doctor.
Yeah.
Do you know
So,
or you don't know?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yes, at this point in time.
Okay,
If
that's
I'm
fair.
shown that doctor, I will not remember
That's fair.
because it's 2 years.
Is it your information therefore that in handling the accused person, you only relied on verbal information from that person you don't remember and never reviewed the preliminary assessment by your colleagues in this form?
Your Honor, I review the relevant information in line with my orthopedic work that I'm going to do on the patient. The patient is managed by a team, and the other team
Which
was
question?
already managing
Which question are you answering, doctor?
that question you've asked.
My question is, my lord, did you find information contained in this emergency assessment form necessary for your next action?
Relevant information to the management of orthopedic injuries.
So did you find the information here necessary for your next action? Yes
I
or
said
no?
there are 2 sources of information I got.
My lord, will he precisely
On that
answer?
form, did you find all from the verbal?
Yes,
From the verbal
for communication and everything. Yeah, because there is verbal communication that I got. There are X-rays that I reviewed.
Now I'm on this form.
There's
My
a
lord,
patient I
will
assessed.
reach there. I will reach there. May the doctor be advised
Because
to answer directly. We can always reach.
I cannot answer that question because it is a long time. These are routine things we do. You review the information. It means I reviewed the information, but I will not be certain of all the details that I got from the information. But I know that I reviewed the information to get the relevant information to help me manage the patient in the theater. And then when I get that information and I'm satisfied that it will help me to manage the patient, I go ahead.
In respect of the form being asked.
Yes.
With what relevant information?
Yes, relevant information, Your Honor.
Said that he already, I thought he said he got verbal information from the administration. We have looked at the form, it's a long time ago. That's what I have understood.
My lord, whatever he said is on record.
But he has
That's-
said that he got the relevant information.
Yes.
Which was relevant.
For example, the name of the patient. Okay. So what I'm saying is that you collect all the information and get the information that you feel is enough for you to manage the patient and to go to theater. So
I want to advise you, doctor, that at this rate and the method you have chosen to engage, we may not finish you today. And yet, we requested that we ask a simple question, provide a direct answer. You're a busy man. We don't want to keep you here for a longer time. Doctor, we are instructed, and please humbly tell this court if our instructions are correct or not, that you were not the hospital by the hour of 9:43 when you claim to have interacted with the accused person on the 2nd of November 2023. You are
False.
not at IHK hospital.
That is false information, Your Honor. I was at the hospital. Quarter three, where the patient was going to theater.
9:43, my lord. In fact, you were not anywhere at IHK until about 11 o'clock on that day.
False information, Your Honor. I was in the hospital and I wouldn't have endorsed the patient being taken to theater for my procedure without reviewing the patient. So it's false information, Your Honor.
The reason you do not want to mention or you decline to mention the time of assessment is because what is on the official record of the hospital shows that by 9:45 the patient was being reviewed, and it contravenes your version that before this time she was in theater. That's why you cannot even mention the time 9:45, clearly written by Dr.
My
Kavma.
Lord, I'm sorry to object. The witness has said the patient. Not the patient in evidence.
Did I say 9:45?
Yes. I thought you said that the patient was in theater at 11.
No, the 9:45 I'm referring to is the time he does not want to read in the official record.
Okay.
So it is the time, my instructions, that is evading that particular record on purpose because it contravenes what he purported to be the fact in this court.
Well, just because you're saying that the 9:45 the patient was in theater. That's my understanding.
I can always repeat the question, my lord. Doctor, the reason, my question is the reason you are uncomfortable reading the time of assessment by your colleague, Dr. Kavma, which is 9:45 on the official form, is because it contradicts with what you earlier told this court, that by 9:43, the one was in theater.
I beg to tell you, Your Honor, that I reviewed and inquired from the administration of the hospital about the timelines. And that is what the director of the hospital informed me, those timelines. But I also have a recollection of what happened on that day.
Wait a minute,
For
doctor.
some details, because you
Wait a
cannot
minute.
get all the details right. But those are the details.
Doctor, let's write slowly.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
timelines
Yes.
you gave in court
Yeah.
Is what you were
From
told
the administration.
by the hospital.
Yes.
Administration.
Administration of the
So
hospital.
who
So
told you specifically?
the director of the hospital, Dr.
So is
Kavuma.
the one that
PMS.
told you about the timelines
Yeah.
you gave to this
Yeah.
one. Okay.
So that one can be.
We can write that first, please. Okay, now we now get it clear because we had mistaken it to be your personal information. Doctor, in accident emergency cases, they are preliminary things that are a must do before theater. Correct?
Yes, sir.
For example, before I give the example, and these, in medical terms, constitute the pre-assessment procedures.
I don't name, first mention them.
I will mention,
Yeah,
but
mention them, then I'll accept or let him mention them.
so as part of the pre-assessment procedure, a CT scan is a must. For orthopedic cases, let me be specific in your field.
Can I answer, Your
Yes
Honor?
or no? Yeah, I want you to tell this court yes or no.
No. Not for all injuries.
X-ray,
Yes. If you are assessed and you suspect fractures, it's a must that you should have it.
for theater, blood assessment,
Yes, it's important, especially if somebody has been bleeding and they're anemic.
in fact, to be clear,
It should be anyway done anyway for all cases for theater.
don't you are qualified?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, in the emergency situation.
In fact, doctor, for the information of this court, you have to ensure that there is available blood before proceeding with the surgical process.
Yes, as a team, you must ensure there is blood before proceeding with the procedure.
Did you know that the accused person had been handled by the radiology department of your hospital before your intervention?
I found that the x-rays had been done.
Doctor, do you know who ordered x-rays?
The emergency doctor.
In your practice, you will agree with me that before ordering a procedure, you first assess. Is that the procedure? First assess before ordering a procedure.
Yes, you do that.
I want to interest you with your hospital record.
Ebiwandiiko bino ebizino tulambirwa abimanye kandi biriyo mu irwaro lino kandi bimu hari ebiwandiiko byahulibwa mu kasanduuko k'ebiwandiiko. Okusangwa omulwaire aba takusobola okubaza we wenyini, bagenda mu kawuliro kandi niho nibayiha ebintu ebikumukwatanaho. Baba nibenda kwetegereza omulwaire aleesere bw'araba akyali mu mezi rundi nahali arugiire okwija hali baba bamulese ebikwatagana abalwaire biba bihandikire hanyumaho biri
My lord, which doctor in Mat Clinic is following this procedure? He has gone. He has vanished. So we are ready. Okay.
biri by'omugaso muno kandi asobola kubirora baitu kiri kyenkizo nti ayina kurora buli kihandiiko rundi ayina kusoma buli ekihandiikirwe. Ekihandiiko kino kyo kyali mazima kyenkizo muno kandi bakikozesa muno okujanjaba abalwaire. Omulwaire ono byaisire akakolebwa bwangu akakolebwaho dakitaali akwetebwa akumapita baitu ekyatakumanya kurungi waraba ali niwe omwekulembeze w'eirwaro lino kandi amazima gali nti tajja kusobola kandi takusobola agarukamu ebibuzo by'ebintu we ebyatakumanya. Awempa omuntu akwatagana ebyokwetegereza omulwaire akwatagana n'ebintu ebyo bakozere babaire nibetegereza omulwaire bwaba nakyahika kandi kino kikakolebwa okubaza baitu atali mukuhandiika. Musango guno gwenyini ibara lya dakitaali wa hansi yamukozereho nalyo tasoboire kulituheereza baitu akasanga nti ekihandiiko kino kigambibwaho nti kiina amahuure agakaba nigasobola kumukonyera kandi eby'okwezi 2 omwezi gwa 11 omwaka gwa 2022 essaaha 3:33 akaba aliyo mazima ko hairwaro kandi niwe yasazireho nti omulwaire atwalibwe mu kasiika ak'okusemezebwamu. Ebihandiiko byo akabyetegereza kandi yafuna n'okwekaguzaho okuruga hali dakitaali ono Dr. Kavuma ayikulembera eirwaro lino okusobola okwetegereza obwire obwozire natugamba amateeka hano.
Most of that.
Is it a dispute? Is it a dispute?
Could be proceeding, my lord. Doctor's an orthopedic surgeon. Did you find the information from the Department of Radiology relevant for your next actions?
I had a chance to look at the x-rays and I found them relevant for my next instructions.
Doctor, did the x-rays come along with a report? Did the x-rays come along with a report from the Department of Radiology?
Did
they or did not?
I mean, those are very, very serious details that, I mean, whether the report came later or, but I saw x-rays and I assessed the x-rays.
I'm not even sure, Doctor, with due respect.
So with about the report being with the x-rays at this time after 2 years, Your Honor, it is so.
What is the answer? You either know or you don't know. You either
I know that
remember.
I saw radiological report
So what is
of
the
the patient.
answer to this code, Doctor?
And the radiological report of the patient that is important to me is the x-rays.
I'm not here to ask what is only important.
Is the X-ray accompanied by a report?
Sometimes the report comes after the x-ray has come because it's an emergency. Sometimes I even go to the radiology and I look at the x-rays in your time after they have been taken because it's an emergency.
So, Doctor, do you have a fair recollection of what happened on that day?
Yes, I mean, it's a fair recollection.
So
will
you tell this court, if you remember,
yes,
whether the x-rays came with a report from the Department of Radiology?
This is what I remember. I saw.
You remember or you don't?
You remember the report? You remember the X-ray?
Yes.
Do you remember the report?
I mean, I don't remember the report because I saw the x-rays and interpreted them.
When you are reviewing the client on the ward, do you remember interacting with the report, the radiology report?
Your Honor.
Do you or you don't? Now I am going to request that I be more strict on what you volunteer here. Do you or you don't?
Can I answer that question? I don't remember. Yeah, about whether because the fact is
you don't remember. That is sufficient.
So I don't give reasons.
No,
I don't have to reason.
I don't require your reasons.
All right. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Interacting with either report or not.
Now, when you are reviewing the client's file prior to coming to this court, did you look at the report from the Department of Radiology that was speaking to the x-rays that you say you interacted with? Did you?
I didn't.
So for the 2 months that you managed Miss More Katanga. You don't remember reading the radiology report, do you?
It was not necessary, and I don't remember reading it because I had seen the x-rays and I had assessed the patient.
Again, doctor, I want to refresh your memory. Look at the report I have placed before you. Does it refresh your memory as to whether is the radiology report in respect of the x-rays you claim to have interacted with?
Let me read the report.
The question is, look at it.
Yes. It is saying exactly what I told court. These are the injuries I saw.
Doctor, I am not, my lord, I'm not asking about injuries. If, my lord, he can be advised to simply answer.
Yeah.
My lord, I have not asked about injuries. He shall not opt to pose questions to himself. I've said, look at it. Is it, does it refresh your mind enough as to whether it is the radiology report that speaks to the x-rays that you claim to have reviewed? That is the question.
Now, if I cannot remember the exact, whether looking at the report in that situation,
Doctor, does it refresh
then
your
I
mind
cannot,
or not?
what mind should I refresh, Your Honor?
You cannot tell.
I cannot.
It is the report.
What I'm saying is that it is saying it's Mole Katanga. The age is right at that time. The injuries it's describing exactly
Doctor,
what it
I
is.
have
So
not asked you to go
that's what I
into
can
details.
say, that it's describing exactly. But I'm telling you that this is the exact report. I'm not a document analyst. If I know the information and I'm convicted that I know the information, in
My
the
lord, I've not
report,
asked
yes, yes, what is what I saw,
My lord,
and I described them to this
my lord,
court.
I've not asked about injuries. This witness shall answer questions put to him in cross-examination. I asked him, look at that report. Does it refresh your mind as to whether it is the radiology report relating to the x-rays that you reviewed? My lord, this question requires him to look at it and tell court if it is or it is not, and he waits for the next question.
Yes, it is the report that that followed the X-rays.
Are you seeing it for the first time in this court?
Your Honor, I've answered that question.
My lord, I'm asking this question
I
for
would
the
be
very
a
first
genius
time.
to remember whether I looked at it or didn't look at it. I would be a genius. But I know that I assessed the injuries, I looked at the x-rays, and I documented what I
My
found.
lord, that is not my question.
So
That
about
is
the
not my question.
specific report, just like I said,
And my question, my lord, is before this court. Are you seeing that report now
I cannot
for the
answer
first time?
I cannot answer the question.
Okay, my lord. That
I would
can
be
a
lying
problem.
court. I would be lying court.
Again, doctor, the reason you are non-committal about this form is because it provides the time of 9:34 as being the time when your client was delivered at the radiology department. And that would sharply contradict your purported time of theater.
Can I respond to that?
The theater is what, 11?
11. And can I respond to the report, to the question? Can I first answer that question, Your Honor? Can I clarify to court what happens? If an X-ray is taken, this is time of reporting. The radiographer, if he has a line, he can even report in the evening. It is not that he takes the report and is typing, because he has work to do. And me, as an emergency, a person who has been called for an emergency, I want to look at the X-ray as soon as it's taken. And the films, yes.
Radiologist,
yes,
radiographer
yes.
can see a
patient, and then write the report, and even tell you, come, yes. Sometimes they tell you, come, yes, come tomorrow, yes. He writes down his notes, and then he types when he gets the time to type. And then the report can accompany the X-rays. This is what we do in medical.
This time of typing.
And the report says that the patient was brought at 4:07.
In the radiology?
Yes.
No, this is reporting time. The time they report.
Who's reporting time?
The radiographer. This is the time is writing the report.
So the time he puts on the report
is when he's writing the report. Yes. Yes. When he's reporting. Yes. That's why it's called reporting time. When have you written the report? Yeah. And this depends exactly on what work he has on the desk.
Doctor, keep that document there. Doctor, can I have the first document that we gave you?
As he checks, can I continue to answer the question a little bit more? Yeah.
You are in
The same question. Okay. About the report. Okay. All right.
And so that we are clear, Doctor, about what you told this court in evidence in chief, for avoidance of doubt, did we get you right when you said the patient was delivered at the theater at 9:43?
That's what I confirmed with the hospital director.
This is what you were
Yes.
told
In this,
by the hospital director?
Yes. Those are the timelines I was given by him. Because they are the custodians of the records.
Do we get you right to imply to this court that on issues of timelines, you are not in a position to answer to them. They are best answered by the custodian of the record, the hospital director.
Yes, sir. Because the time has really been long. The exact timelines.
Okay, that saves us a lot. But who shaved Mole Katanga's hair? Do you know?
Your Honor, I managed.
Do you or you don't?
I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know.
So I will therefore be correct to say you don't know who, you don't know when, you don't know from which place her hair was shaved. Am I correct?
I managed orthopedic whatever.
Doctor,
I prefer that you ask me the orthopedic injuries because yes, and I'll tell you something.
Just a minute,
yes.
Doctor. I will request.
Yes.
There's no hostility between us.
You know, there's no hostility, and I'm trying to answer.
We are just providing this information.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why I'm making it simple.
Yes, simple.
That will I be correct to say that you don't know who, when, and where Mole Katanga's hair was shaved?
I just don't have that.
You don't know.
Exact detail you are asking.
You don't know.
But
do you know you don't know?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. Yeah.
For avoidance of doubt, Doctor, you claimed to have been in theater when the neurosurgeon was reportedly working on.
Correct.
Mole Katanga.
Correct.
Did she have her hair on?
No. When I saw her, she didn't have it.
If you assess Mrs. Katanga for breakages in the head,
I found, because you see, we were two.
Did you or you didn't know?
Yes, I'm answering. You know, and you should be allowed to answer, Your Honor. Let me answer you, Your Honor. We were two doctors. The neurosurgeon was called first. I found when he had, you know, bandaged and whatever, because the patient was bleeding. And then I assessed the orthopedic injuries, and then saw the x-rays, and the decision was made that we are going to do these procedures in theater. Then when we reach theater, the neurosurgeon opens first to do his surgery. And then I come in at around that time, because I'm monitoring to see when is he finishing, when is he going to whatever, so that I can know around what time is he going to take. And I was in theater around that time.
So do you realize you have not answered?
So the question is, yes. An orthopedic, yes. Yes.
considering what you saw.
Yes, what I saw, yes.
And they said you are told that you are bleeding.
Yes.
You interest yourself in whether any of her injuries in the head were orthopedic in nature.
We don't manage anything on the head as orthopedic surgeons. Yes, we don't manage anything on the head apart from knowing the state of the patient. Is she conscious or she's unconscious? Yeah.
So the bones of the head are not.
No, they are not in our. jurisdiction to. We don't open the brain.
And you never participated in the management of any
I-
head injury.
And the court finished my law.
Something from the
Yeah.
orthopedic was
Orthopedic starts from the neck downward, as far as bones are concerned. And then even the bones of the face, we don't touch. Yeah, even the teeth.
And you did not participate in any activity as far as management of the head injuries was concerned.
I didn't participate in managing the head, but I saw.
By the time you see the head injuries, was it before or after the neurosurgeon had worked on them?
I saw the whatever the picture had been taken in the emergency.
Now I
So-
am talking
so
about.
and then I found the
Doctor,
patient
if
bandaged.
you-
Mm.
Doctor, please,
Mm.
please.
Mm.
Don't hassle with
Mm.
us.
Mm.
Okay? If we interject, listen and know why.
Mhm.
I'm now talking about the subject of More Katanga. That is the patient you are managing.
Mm.
Did you see her head before or after the intervention of the neurosurgeon?
I saw before. I saw it before. Because the surgeon had to
You
open.
have given a precise answer.
Okay.
Don't provide me information I don't need. Do you know who bandaged her head?
The neurosurgeon dressed and bandaged her.
Doctor, do you know a name called Natimba Peace?
I don't recollect such a name.
You certainly know Dr. Onen Justin.
I know him.
I hope you know Dr. Kavuma Peter.
I know Kavuma, the director of the hospital, and I maybe probably there's another Kavuma in the emergency section.
There is a head nurse, or there was at the time, by the names Brian Mayanja. You know him?
I know him.
What role did he play on the 2nd of November 2023 in relation to More Katanga?
You have agreed to listen to the hearsay? You know what role Brian played?
Your Honor, I'm being asked administrative details in the area which I did
Did
manage
he play
and
any
which
role
I had
in
no
the
interest in
management?
myself about. Yeah.
asking about
About the head, and yet I'm an orthopedic surgeon.
asking about Brian Mayanja. This is
My Lord, he either knows the role that Mayanja played or he doesn't. There is no hearsay in that question, with due respect.
I know Brian Mayanja.
Did he play any role in the management of Mole Katanga on that day? Do you remember?
I cannot recollect what he did. I cannot recollect.
Did you see him on that day?
I think that the questions are becoming
too much, eh?
No, they're out of context with what I did.
Don't worry, it is court to determine that.
Yeah,
sir.
that's fine. In my opinion, I cannot answer administrative questions. I am here to answer technical orthopedic questions. And I'm being, taken into the nurses who was there, who was not there. It was a big team. And it's cross-examination, fine. But because you imagine in this court, the answer was in the corner, who was where? It is so difficult to really be very specific about, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember.
I think the objection the questions, because a sexual problem must be relevant. Because an orthopedic doctor, a consultant, and he's being asked about the
whether the nurse injected or not,
But whether the nurse was part of the team.
shaving of the head, shaving of
The
the
nurse
head.
was part of the team. And supported doing all that. Because there are people who pass knives and what.
The orthopedic
Then I
doctor
think
is
that's about shows another junior doctors, junior doctors. Now by the time we reach the nurses.
Or assist in the theater.
It is not easy after 2 years, Your Honor, to be that detailed, remembering everything and what was done by everybody.
That's why
apart from the things you did.
Yeah, that's why I advise
and what you
doctor.
saw.
That's why I'm advising, when we ask what you don't know, don't engage. Just tell court that you don't know, and we move to the next question. Okay, so don't get offended by what you don't know.
Yeah,
we are not expecting you to know everything. Okay, but just confirm to this court that Brian Mayanja is the head nurse or was the head nurse at your facility at the time.
I can confirm that because I know him. He had been there for some time.
Is he still there?
No.
There's a nurse called Christine. She belongs to your department. Do you know a nurse called Christine of the orthopedic department?
Can I answer that? The private hospital doesn't have a nurse belonging to the orthopedic department. It doesn't have that nurse belonging to the orthopedic department.
So
they are nurses. Okay. And when they are found on station, they do the job.
My lord, do you understand the witness?
Yes.
That at IHK, okay, at private hospitals, there are no nurses for particular sections.
They assist all surgery.
Yes.
In the section, theater, emergency, outpatient clinic, and the wards, and maybe maternity. So that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But as surgeons, we all share the nurses.
Okay.
General surgeons, orthopedic surgeons.
Okay. On the 3, you remember working with any nurse that goes by the name Christine?
I don't have that recollection. Don't have that recollection.
Do you know him?
I don't remember.
Doctor, do you know Dr. Juma Fauz?
But now that reminds me of the director of the hospital. Fauz Kauma. I remember that. I was not remembering the second name, remember. I was trying to remember. But now, Fauz, yes.
Juma
Kavma.
Fauzi Kavma.
The director?
Yeah, that
Is
is
it
the, I know that.
You want to confirm that?
I know
Is it
Fawuz.
your position that Juma Fawuz Kavuma is the director?
The Juma, I don't know. I know Fawuz Kavuma. I know the Fawuz and Kavuma. Yeah, in the
As-
names that
as
should
the
be
director?
the director. Yes, that's what at least I've heard that name being called.
Looked at IHK, external correspondences are dispatched or signed off by the director as a matter of policy, correct?
It depends on which communication.
All external communications relating to professional medical services of that hospital. Specific.
Not necessarily.
Doctor, you told this court that you visited the accused person on ward.
Yes,
How many times? Do you remember visiting him?
several times, because she was under my care.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can say several times.
Doctor, for the 2 months, would it be a fair estimation if I said you visited her over 20 times on theater? On ward, sorry, not theater, ward.
Those because I remember that I did a post-operative visit.
About how many?
In the first week,
Yes.
they are like maybe 3 times, but you go on tapering the visit because the patient is getting better and better and better. But I remember that whenever I would go for my clinic, I check on the patient progress, and sometimes I had to change the dressing, and then that kind of care that patient to ensure that no complication happens.
Okay.
Yeah, in the presence of the nurse and the ward doctor.
No problem.
Okay.
Doctor, would you document review visits?
Yes, through the ward doctor.
What do you mean?
Yes, I give him instructions on what he should write in the chart.
Did you ever write or make any note in the patient's file throughout your claimed ward visits?
I will need to revisit that in the records.
You remember making any?
Myself.
Yes.
I need to revisit the records to whatever. Prove that I'm the very one who wrote, because you are usually you glove, you work, and you give instructions. Yes.
So specifically, when you reviewed this file for court, what you said you only reviewed things which you did, things which concern you. What did you?
When I dictate, we dictate in medicine. We dictate our notes. We dictate instructions.
Remember,
because you are
I've not
yes.
asked you a question yet.
So I dictate. Sometimes when the medical officer is busy, you write. And for me to prove what happened, for me the important thing that I wanted to review is what I did as an orthopedic surgeon.
Even the review of the file a few days ago cannot inform you whether you made any clinical notes on review.
I am the one who managed the patient, Your Honor. I'm the one who followed up the patient as an orthopedic surgeon, and I'm telling this court the truth. And what I told the court is exactly what I did. I operated the patient, I followed up the patient until I removed the pins when the fractures had healed.
Well, doctor, maybe, okay, let's quote right. Here in court, we cheat exams at times. So the reason I'm asking you these details, cheating exams for you, Mr. Kavika doesn't want me to do so. No. But the reason I'm asking you these questions is because we have instructions that what you are telling this court is not true. And the only way this court can ascertain that you did what you did is through a verification of your record. So when I ask, you say you reviewed this patient several times, then you reviewed her file just a few days ago. I would be interested in knowing whether that review was capable of refreshing your mind, whether you wrote anything on any day relating to that which you say you did in the patient's file. But it's fair enough if you don't know, doctor.
There should be a record.
Which you reviewed a few days ago.
Pardon?
Does it reflect you as a doctor that reviewed this accused person on ward?
Your Honor, I reviewed the patient. The police records will show you the records of the police where I used to sign and go into the room of the patient, and I manage the patient. And whatever detail I wrote, I can go and check and give you that information.
So you are not in a position to confirm whether you wrote anything.
Which day I wrote what, because
no, I'm not about
and I'm going to tell you why I may not do it, because those are now the minor procedures I do, because it's just dressing. It's just seeing whether the patient's swelling is getting down, and then you can tell it to the doctor. The wounds are clean, they are fine. Just remove the stitches. So
I'm just interested in a simple thing which any doctor would presumably do.
And
See a patient and put a sentence there that I've been here, the doctor is healing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You find time at the end of the day.
Yes.
To see whether
what you yes, what they wrote.
So
and to ensure that they
did they write
they follow the instructions? Yes. Because this patient was reviewed.
Whoever you were instructing to write, did they write anything in the file in respect of your reviews?
Yes, they are review notes in the patient's file.
Okay. We were veiled some which we believe to be the file. It is the perioperative record.
Perioperative.
Perioperative.
Yes.
Record of the patient.
Yes.
I want you to have it.
As I have it, let me define perioperative, Your Honor.
Doctor, leave that for your students, kindly.
Okay.
This is court.
All right.
Okay.
So you don't want me to clear
what perioperative? Don't assume that we don't know. You see.
Okay.
We shall ask you.
All right.
For now, concentrate on what we want you to tell court. No, no, no. I gave you the entire bundle. Eh? Which one? The radiology. So, doctor, that is your patient's file.
This is part of the patient's file.
In fact, this form indicates you and Dr. Nen as the doctors managing that use.
Yes.
When is it dated?
Second of November 23.
What were you managing according to the form?
The injuries I detailed to theater.
Doctor, do you want to look at your own form? On page 2.
Hmm?
Can you read to quote the patient's history and examination?
This is not.
Can you read to
Yeah.
quote what is contained in your form in
Now,
respect of the patient's history and examination?
this was written by the neurosurgeon, and he wrote about his injuries.
Doctor, can you read?
Yeah, that
Please read.
deep scalp
No,
wounds.
it doesn't begin there.
Can you instruct me on the page?
Page 2,
On the
under
page.
patient history and examination.
Yes.
Can you read what is written?
TBI with deep cut scalp wounds following RTA, known hypertension.
What is TPI?
I don't usually use that abbreviation, Your Honor. That should be. I'm not the one who wrote.
Again, my lord, that's exactly the form.
The-
My lord, that's exactly the form I took you to, where I was told to limit myself only the things that he wrote.
You write anything on that?
No,
Yes.
I didn't write. Where on this one?
The last page.
Yeah, I wrote my notes.
The last page.
So, but I didn't write this.
My lord, and the objection was very specific. I gave him that form, and the objection was he should limit himself only to the fact that he wrote This was on the last page.
Nothing you wrote on.
Yeah, there's nothing I wrote here.
The top of that was written by Dr. Nen.
I don't want to say it's either Dr. Nen or the anesthesiologist, because I see a part of dentition, and usually the anesthetists are interested in that because they're going to pass, Yeah. So yeah, but I cannot prove that this is his handwriting. So it could be an anesthesiologist. And actually the form has perioperative anesthesia record. So that should be most likely the anesthesiologist who wrote it.
Doctor, did you interact with this form in the process of management of the accused person?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. I want you to be fair and confirm to this court that this is the form that is to be used in the theater in the management of the client.
Your Honor, there is different people managing the patient. There are different people managing the patient, from the nurses, the anesthesia team,
Can he answer to my
and
question?
the surgeons.
I have not asked that question, and
so
I really
part of those,
really request that the doctor,
yes.
Don't worry.
So this is a perioperative anesthesia record.
Doctor, is that
I don't remember because it's not primarily where I write my notes,
I do not remember interacting with this form
because my interest is somewhere else.
Yes, you find it as a perioperative anesthesia
Record.
on page 2.
yeah, it is it's okay. It's okay. So I'm breaking it down, my lord, in simple terms. Is this supposed to be the theater record for the patient? He either knows or he doesn't.
I know that the anesthetist reviews the patient and writes something in the file. And me, what I do,
Does it take place in the theater?
it can be take place on the whatever, on the ward or in the emergency, depending on the situation. Yes, they can come out and first review the patient to see whether they are fit to go into theater. Can happen anywhere. Before this.
Doctor, why would Doctor, it is in this form that operation notes are made, correct?
No. There's another form where we make operation notes, which has all the records of the pulse, the pressure, the anesthesia drugs, and everything. That's where we make at the end of that form is where we make the operation notes. Yeah, at the end of this form.
Hello, the witness has denied that this is not the form where theater notes are taken.
I don't write on this form.
Sorry?
I don't write on this form. That's for the anesthesia, pre-operative assessment. Yes, And the procedure is that you should assess the patient before they go into what? Into theater and write something. Then in theater, we have the operation notes, and we write operation notes.
And you say for you, you write on the last page, right?
Yeah, I wrote on the last page.
Go to the last page. I put
Yeah.
the stapler is flying.
Yeah.
The page is there.
Yeah, it's there.
Do you see your handwriting?
Yes, I see it.
What is the page number where you wrote?
It's page number 15.
Page 15.
Mm.
What is on page 14?
So it is operation notes.
Okay.
Mm.
Confirm that this form is page numbered sequentially from page 1 to
Yes.
page 15, where you wrote.
Your Honor.
Is it or it is not?
Can I answer the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the page
Yes.
numbered
Sequentially,
15?
from 1 to 15.
1 to 15.
Page 1 to page 15.
Now.
So, doctor, you wrote.
Have you answered?
Yes.
Have you answered?
From page 1.
Go from 1, 2, 3,
Up to 15,
3,
where you
4,
wrote.
up to 13. And then there's the operation notes.
Does it go from page 1 up to page 15 where you wrote? Is it numbered sequentially?
It is numbered sequentially up to page 13, but I don't see the number on 14.
You don't see the number on 14?
I don't know that.
If you look at the stamp, you can see number 14 in the stamp.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, you can
You've
see
seen
it.
it, eh?
Yeah, you can see
And
it.
yours is page 15.
Yeah.
Okay? Yours is 15. Right?
Yeah, it's 15.
So you wrote in this form?
Yes, I wrote in that form. That's my handwriting.
What is the heading?
It's clinical notes
of your writing?
Of my writing, because the form was full. My colleague had written where I'm supposed to write.
So you headed it?
Yes. But no, what I'm saying, I'm not the one who heads it. You get extra space to write your note. Okay, because I did the operation.
My lord, which question is doctor answering?
You asked him what?
The heading is clinical notes. Yeah, it's clinical notes.
Yes.
I think my lawyer was clarifying that type notes, but you know that he wrote. You know what he wrote. I think he
Interpretation, my lord.
Mukoranye akasanga ebisani ebyateirwe kamukuzekima kyamasanyalaze ebisani ebyomubiri biri byenkizo muno ali ebyakaba nakola lwekipande tatwijuka nti akayiziraho ekihandiiko ekikusobola ebisani ebyo mazima kota kujuka konze tyakatolaho wakaba mulwaire atira omusiika ali bahewe ekitabo yabaire nayetegereza ebihandiiko bino nabigaruka mu matakayizire mubikalira amateeka munu atakunaho zakwijuka nti akatolaho kuno ekihandiiko mu myezi ebiri eyamazire nalolera lungi nakola kali omukyala Katanga nabwota kujuka nti akalolaho ekihandiiko sana kityo bakipandi n'ekikulu muno kityo kaba kitali kikulu ali ebyakaba nakola ekiwandiiko ekyaizire nikihondera kisobole ekisani bino kandi nakyo takujuka nti akatulawo kandi kyajja nabo ebikakuzo byakyo akola takujja kusobola kubigarukamu kandi takumanya tasobola kugarukamu tasobola kugambye bw'alaba nti nibwo yabanza akirolawo hano muhayiro yagokuba ajja kuba nagambira olutalo luno ebisuba ekiwandiiko kino kikoleka obwire obukyahandikirwe kyokka hatali obwire obukyakozerwe kandi akagambirwa omukulu w'eirwaro n'omukulembeze w'eirwaro nti omulwaire akahika airwaro esaaha 3:43 baitu takusobola kukala nagaruka mu bikaguzo ebikwatagana habwire habwokuba ogwo guli mulimo gwabakura ebihandiiko by'eirwaro amazima gali nti tamanyire oha ayasazire isoke lya mole lundi akalisara nkaha lundi akalisara ndihi olundi kukaba bwireki baitu kandi amazima gali nti katika kusemezerwamu akabayo na daktari akora habyobwongo wakaba nakora habihuta ebyabaye hamutwe baitu wakana mkoraho isoke ndio atalilole kandi we na daktari wa magufa tena kitu kyone kyakora hali obutwe baitu akamurora atakamkozeroho kandi wakaba na mkoraho omukana mtumeza nabo akamurora kuba akabayo daktari niyo yamusibira omutwe kandi onomuhereza Christine takumumanya Memphis takumumanya baitu amanyire daktari one kandi amanyire nomero kavuma ali akura eirwaro saha zino baitu takumanya bwaraba Brian Mayanja nawakumumanya baitu takumanya bwaraba ine kitu kyone kyakozere ali mule Katanga obwire obwo bwakaba ali omukora eirwaro lyabu etali lya gavumenti abalwaire abakozi basobola kukola ekintu kyona ekikasangibwa ekitaba omukozi lundi nansi ali akwasibwe hakiweka kimulundi ekitongole kyona ekirwaro takujuka omuntu wena bakweta Dr. Jaffa wetamanyire haliho omuntu ogweta Dr. Juma Paulo Kavuma kandi ono niwe akura eirwaro saha zino eirwaro lino kigambibwe nti ebintu byona lundi enkolagana yona na abantu abaheru byona biteekebwaho omukono mu bugufu omukulembeze w'eirwaro baitu ekitali kya buli kiro kandi kaikara naisirana lundi nabungira omulugero ono akubanza emirundi nyingi obwo obwakaba namulolera ahairwe ekitabo baitu ekyatakumanya ekyatasobola kugambira nti ekaba mirundi eingaha yona kandi mukubutyana mulundi mukumubungira ayina obintu ebyahandikibwaga lundi ebyahandikirwe okuraba omuli daktari ayali nakora hali abahairwe ebitabo kandi amazima gali nti niwe yakozere hali omulwaire ono kandi akaikara namulolera namwitirana olwokuba akaba nayenda kumanya omulwaire bwalaba kizire kandi obyakizire yaihamu obuwaya obubali baseiremu akaikaraho namwetegereza namurora okuli obyagyayoga kandi olwo byagyayoga yahandikaga hali abapoliisi abali bateereddwa okulinda kandi ebyo bisobola kuyita mu biwandiiko ebya poliisi. Abantu bye yagambaga handiika gali mazima balina ebintu ebyebahandiikire kandi birina kuba biri mu bihandiiko ebyakozere hali omulwaire ono. Omukyala ono Neeri niwe yabaire n'afaawo omulwaire ono eby'obukwezi 2 ku mwezi gwe 11 mu mwaka 2022 kandi uweka omuntu takwekeka nti akalwako kino ekitandiiko ekiziye nekigambibwawo emirundi nyingi hali tuli hano ekikwasagana hali omulwaire ono kandi kyalinaho bahandiika ebintu ebaba bayitire lundi bakozere omukusemeza baitu balina ekitandiiko ekindi hali basobola kuba nibabihandiika. Kino ekitandiiko ekitulina kino empapula 15 kandi zona zizire niziheebwa enamba nizikonderanga n'okuruga hali emu kwitwa 15.
Returning your form. As a surgeon, before you manage this patient, this your patient, did you interest yourself in her vitals?
Yes.
Why would you be interested in a patient's vitals as a surgeon?
Make sure that she's fit, and to know that I need to be quick in executing my duty of operating her, because I need to know whether she's very critical or she's very stable in that regard. As a team.
Okay.
But the main person in assessing that is the anesthesiologist.
I'm now asking about you. Other questions for the anesthesiologist, we shall reserve them for him or her. Can you go to page 4 where our vitals were recorded? Page 4. Doctor, first, I want you to confirm.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting my colleague, but he really objected to me taking this witness to any page. This document of the witness. So the same rule must apply.
I think, my lord, what my colleagues, with the greatest respect, should know is that the rules of leading evidence in chief are strict and restricted. My lord, in evidence in chief, you only lead witnesses to things that are provable, any of their 5 senses. There must be things within their knowledge. My lord, in cross-examination, there is no restriction as to what question can be put to the witness. And it is up to the witness, my lord, to choose to tell a court whether they know or not. My lord, in cross-examination, I can even choose to deliberately ask a witness questions that I know that they are not supposed to do. And it is up to them to choose whether to tell the truth or to lie to court. We know that the only prohibited questions under the sun are questions that are offensive, scandalous, etc. So we don't know, my lord, under what legal provision we can be prevented from us putting any questions to this doctor, especially, my Lord, questions that he is supposed to have reviewed, questions that he undertook. In this case, it's even better. He says if he found that vitals are very necessary in dealing with this patient, and then we are taking him, my Lord, to where the vitals are recorded.
May I? My Lord, much as my learned friend is free to ask any question in course, the question has to be relevant what the court is trying to go through. But my Lord, at page 4, this document, there is nothing. It's totally empty.
Which document are you?
Yes, page 4.
Which page is that?
This one.
No, we're on page 4 of assessment form. Page 4 of assessment form.
But my Lord, also just, my Lord, the only limitation on examination in chief is the statute limits you. You're not asking me questions. Yes, that is what is in the statute. My Lord, hearsay cannot be elicited either from cross-examination or through examination in chief. But anyway, maybe my colleague can continue and see where he's going. We just put him on notice.
My Lord, they are either making a substantive objection now because it will keep coming.
Yes, my Lord, the substantive objection is he cannot elicit hearsay during cross-examination. And the statutory limit is on that. But since he's asking questions, he should ask that question with that in mind. That in case he violates that, we shall legitimately object.
First of all, my Lord, there is no hearsay to information contained in an official record of the hospital, which the doctor considered relevant before operation. That can't be hearsay. Yes. Page 4 of the assessment form.
Nothing notes.
Yes.
That he interested himself
In the vitals.
Vitals may have been taken by
Yeah.
someone else, but he-
In the vitals.
My Lord, page 4 is the nursing notes. Is that the nursing notes?
Yes.
I don't know if we want to baptize them nursing notes.
Nursing and
but
follow.
what we see is that they are personal vitals of the patients. Whether written by a doctor or a nurse, it was of interest to him. So, my Lord, do I proceed? Doctors, per this your hospital record, this accused person on arrival was assessed and found to have been fully conscious, awake, alert, and well oriented. Correct?
It's correct according to what they wrote.
My Lord, she was fully conscious, awake, alert, and well oriented.
according
To the vitals.
Right,
Yes.
according to what the back.
Mm.
And those the vitals,
My Lord,
Yes,
but
my
the
Lord.
other with vitals, those are nursing notes.
according to the is that what you are referring to? Like, also
Yes, my Lord.
going there?
They are doctor. These not the vitals that you assess before operating on a patient?
This is
the content of page 4.
now this when you comment, this is CNS examination by the nurse.
At
CNS?
vitals.
Central nervous system
No.
examination by the nurse. This is CNS.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go to the vitals that you're talking about.
So according
So
to the CNS,
Central nervous system examination. Is the patient alert? Is he cautious? That kind of thing. So that's what the nurse wrote when she arrived.
First, I mean, doctor, I want you to confirm you have started.
And
At least I didn't mention which doctor. I mentioned the first. So, doctor, I'm sorry. In medical terms, for you to say that a patient is fully conscious, it means that that patient is awake, is not drowsy, and is spontaneous. In other words, he responds to voice and touch. Correct?
that is correct.
Hello, do I repeat? Forgot?
fully conscious.
Means that the patient is awake, not drowsy, spontaneous, and responds to voice and touch.
Doctor, what is spontaneous in medical terms? Someone says patient was spontaneous. What do they mean?
Where is that statement? I don't see that statement in the CNS examination. Oh, you was trying to say.
I think court is asking you a question, not necessarily in the document.
But I'm not a whatever, a neurosurgeon, though, but I studied this in my undergraduate and in my practice, I know that we assess the central nervous system of the patient.
If they say someone is spontaneous,
That
it means that
they
person
respond to
voice
instructions. Yes.
or instructions.
Instruction. There is response to instruction.
no. Yes, and the doctor
And it's in the area of neurosurgery, but
because they
I'll
ask
offer
be
to answer it.
Because they ask him to be fully conscious
Means
means
So the definition was mine and he confirmed it. And in medical terms, to be awake, doctor. It means that the patient is not asleep or unconscious. Correct?
The patient who is awake is not unconscious.
Not unconscious. Again, doctor, when you medically say that the patient is alert, it means that that patient was capable of immediate responses by normal stimuli. In other words, they respond without delay or confusion.
Your Honor, I'm going into neurosurgery. I beg to be.
If you don't know,
I beg that the neurosurgeon comes and answers a little bit of the details of the neurosurgical examination.
I'm asking you
because
as-
these are things that have been written by a nurse, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon.
Yes, doctor.
Mm.
When they say that
So
patient is alert, what does it mean? Or you're not able.
What I'm saying is that there is a more qualified person than me to answer, but I know that alert is an English term that you can see and you can hear and you can respond to pain.
Fair enough.
That's what I know.
And that's
And of course,
that's
the
exactly what we are
neuro
looking
people
for.
grade the alertness. It has grades. So, but they're the ones who really did the detailed assessment.
We are only asking things within your knowledge.
Yes, Mr.
I think as a legal system, I don't think the witness should be limited to what you did before. I think as for central nervous system examination.
But those are some of the notes that you inform him.
Of the
Is that
operations.
what you say? Isn't that part of the
Written by the nurses.
Yes, but don't they
The-
determine how?
But you see, I was managing the minor, what I call the minor injury, the patient, right?
Don't worry.
And there's a neurosurgeon who's managing the major injury that, as I said in my definition of the injuries the patient got, the grievous injuries were on the head.
Yes, but we don't.
So if my colleague has already assessed my attention to detail, because I'm not the primary surgeon, it may not be like as detailed as he is, because he's the one managing the brain. And
So for you, you wouldn't.
yeah, I mean, if he has already assessed and the anesthetist has already assessed, I trust them to be the ones who are primarily, taking care of the vitals and everything else. Much as I may be interested in knowing that the blood pressure is like this and whatever, but this is 2 years down the road and whatever. Those details may not be
Let's
registering
say 2
very
years
well.
down the road,
Yeah.
Ordinary.
Ordinarily.
Assuming
If
that
I was the
patient
primary
came-
surgeon,
If the patient came
Yes,
today,
yes.
and the circumstances
yes, we
are
discuss.
as they were
Yes.
on second,
Yes,
would those interest you or not?
they would
Those
interest.
things.
They would interest me as a surgeon going to do the operation. Yes.
That's
So I need to know, and the anesthetist is the primary.
My objection properly. My lord, this form that Alan friend is talking about has information for both the neurosurgeon and the orthopedic surgeon.
Exactly.
So even the vitals we're talking about, we're talking about fractures on the hands, we're talking about deep forearm and ring finger, we're talking about bilaterally distal forearm and fingers can move lower limbs. So my lord, when the doctor says this is something he can look at, my lord, the context is there's information here for neurosurgeon and there's information here for
And
orthopedic
there's
surgeon.
information that serves both of them.
But certainly not the
that is-
central nervous
that is
system.
general. No, but if they tell you about how the patient is fully conscious,
No,
alert,
that's a central
aware,
nervous
alert-
system
No,
examination.
no, but even if there's a central nervous system examination,
Yeah, they concern me. But remember, this patient is a physiologist by the neurosurgeon and me.
But do those
Concern me, of course. But I'm not the one to make the decision whether to operate. It's the anesthesiologist. So,
Doctor, when a patient is medically said to be well oriented, it means that that person knows their name, knows the place where they are, for example, that I'm in hospital, also knows the time in terms of day, month, and the year, or at least that it is morning or evening. In other words, being well oriented means that you know your particulars, you know the place, you know the time in the issue. Correct?
yeah, we do orientation.
Correct or not?
It's correct.
Okay, that's sufficient. Interpretation, my lord.
bateka muno essira hali ebikumukwataho habwokuba bikaba nebijja kumukonyera rundi kumutegekera rundi kumulekya okukolakola omulimu gwe kandi kyembeera ono bakamukebera bayitegeeza basanga nti akurora kandi akwetegereza akaba atabyamire kandi alina okumanya kandi kino nikikolwa okulaba omukebera ekicweka ekikulu muno ekirema omubiri gwona. Mu nyetegereza yaba emibazi omuntu okuba nayitegereza kikumanyisa nti akurora talina akahungura kandi akusobola kugarukamu kakusanga abuura era akarundi kakusanga akwasirweho kandi kuba nti ayimukire kuba nikimanyisa nti omuntu tagwijagiire rundi tabyamire kandi ayina obusobozi kuba nahuura obulumi kandi nti kuba nayitegereza kiba nikimanyisa nti akumanya ibara lye, akumanya ekicweka halaali, akumanya obwire kugamba nti okumanya obwire akumanya rundi ziri saaha zingaha orundi akumanya kiroki kandi orundi mwezi ki.
The road is coming to, it is past 5. So we request to do just one more thing and we pray for an adjournment to complete. Or is it a proposal of court that we could stretch a little more?
If there's not much, but I won't be able to manage.
Yes, yes.
My Lord, we are not even halfway for sure. Yeah. There are few. So we just wanted to do one thing, my Lord, first before we pray for an adjournment. Doctor, we want to respectfully again put our instructions to you that you are not anywhere at IHK between the hour of 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, as you earlier told this court in your evidence in chief.
It is false.
My Lord, we believe we can begin from there when we resume.
And Wednesday. That's what you have said.
Tuesdays.
You're not available.
No, I'll be available on Tuesday.
Are you available Tuesday?
I don't know.
We indicated we
We
are
are
not.
not available. That is not yet.
So I don't the days we got.
Monday.
Monday,
Wednesday, and Thursday.
Thursday, then we will, if anything changes, you will write to court. Let's keep the days, we will be available. If we fail to just with him, we will introduce another meeting.
Monday, 29.
Waliona